hoping I can help you choose between these two elbow pads. I think this is more for people who are newer to derby. If you're a veteran and you need to replace your elbow pads, this could be helpful to you as well. Or maybe you like to explore a little bit and you're not sure if you want to just go with, what's hot right now or wait a little bit longer. Well, we can talk about it. So I've had the, what I call original 187s, because this is what everyone had, for 7 years. So I've had these a very long time. I don't feel like they're broken down. I don't feel like they're tearing. The only issue I was having was I felt like, one, they were causing rashes inside my arm. It seemed like within the last year, no matter how much I washed them, I was getting rashes. So I thought maybe these are just too dirty and I've had enough with them. The other thing is, because of the shape, I felt like they were sliding a little bit on me, like I was constantly adjusting them. That could be because I bought a large and maybe I'm supposed to be in the medium. But the pros and cons that I'm going to go over are going to be the same pros and cons whether you are a medium, a large, whether you buy the wrong size or the right size. I feel like what I'm going to say is still going to stand. So one of the pros to the originals is that it provides an equal amount of protection behind the forearm as well as behind the elbow. So it's not going to matter what part of your arm you land on, you're definitely going to be protected. The padding is incredibly thick, just like the original 187 knee pads were. They are bulky. However, if you've ever played derby at all, you learn to adapt and deal with that. But if the bulkiness is an issue, I think the slims are worth exploring. They are slim. The padding is a lot thinner, like obnoxiously thinner. It's also stiffer, so I have a feeling this is going to keep its shape a little bit longer. But these are just, there's so much padding in them that even if it did shrink down a little bit, I feel like the protection is still really good. Some downsides to slims is they do run pretty tight. I think that was on purpose because they wanted to make sure that they weren't sliding down the arm. You can see there's a lot more coverage beyond the elbow than there is behind it. This has very, very little length to it. So most of the traction is down here, and if they're sliding down, well, having nothing to anchor it here, whereas these are equal on both sides, it could be more prone to sliding down. If you land on your elbow, I don't think it's gonna matter how you land. It might hurt a little bit more if you land on this part, but I feel like most people, when they land, they don't go like this. It's gonna be more in this area, so I think the plate is fine. It's just different. Again, back to the tightness. When I put the strap on, I can barely get it around. If I get this in large, I think it's gonna be too big, and I'm constantly gonna be adjusting it. The strap is not very long. I feel like they could have made it a little bit longer. Even when it's off my arm, this is about the farthest I can get it to go. It never makes it all the way to this end, even when it's not on my arm. So I feel like a longer strap would have been nicer. Also, it only has one strap. So if you want to adjust the bottom here, you can't. There's a strap here, but it's not adjustable. It makes it quite tight, which great for keeping it from sliding off. I've never had them slide off on me. Not once did I feel like I had to adjust it or pull it up. But I have thought about legitimately just cutting this strap off altogether because it definitely digs in a little bit. Make sure that the strap doesn't accidentally slide up because these do have quite a bit of friction on them and it's going to irritate your skin. I've only had it slide up like one time, and that's because I put it on so fast. I think I just threw off the shape. You don't need a lot of time to get them on. However, they do take a few seconds to get comfortable with, like, because they are so tight, they don't slide as much. But again, one of the benefits is that they don't really slide off your arms. They stay in place and they keep their shape. If these had the same price and someone said to me, which one should I get? I would say that it's a matter of whether or not you care about how much space it's taking up. I don't think that either elbow pad is necessarily better than the other unless you're thinking about the space it takes up. That's really the benefit of the slims, is that they do take up less space. I think they would be fantastic for jammers. Blockers, I feel like you could wear either one. Maybe go with the one that's cheaper, but ultimately, I don't think it really matters. They're both great. It's just about the space. If you don't care about space, I don't think it matters which one you get. Just grab whichever one you want and make sure you get the right fit. Maybe try on someone else's pad, as gross as that may be, because these are so tight. If I went down one size, I feel like my blood wouldn't be able to flow down the arm. So whichever one is available, as long as they're the right size, I don't think it's really gonna matter. Maybe I'm oversimplifying things, but I think they're both good. I just prefer to take up a little bit less space as a jammer.